That's Courteous & Son Funeral Home for funerals and burials and cremations, pre-need. It's all at Courteous & Son Funeral Home. 2 locations, one in Childersburg on Highway 280 and one in Sylacauga on Highway 21 next to Evergreen Cemetery. Call 256-245-4361 and let the folks there help you with your pre-need for yourself or a family member. And anytime, Courteous & Son Funeral Home has been around since 1975, so they're not new kids on the block, and they can help you with all your funeral needs. 256-245-4361. That's Courteous & Son Funeral Home. Faye Burton Crow, age 88 of Childersburg, died Sunday at her residence in Childersburg. Visitation for Miss Faye will be Thursday from 1 until 2 at Courteous & Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel. Funeral service to follow at 2 o'clock with burial in the Green Hill Memorial Gardens. Online condolences at courteousonfh.com. Courteous & Son Funeral Home will direct that funeral service. Betty Jean Greer Gallagher, age 78 of Sylacauga, died Sunday at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Fond memories and expressions of sympathy may be shared at courteousonfh.com for the Gallagher family. There will be a memorial service announced at a later date. Courteous & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Deborah Lee Cranford McBroom, age 65 of Sylacauga, died January the 11th at her residence. There will be a memorial service held in Crockett, Texas at a later date. In lieu of flowers, donation can be made to your local animal shelter. Courteous & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Mr. Frenchie Floyd, age 60 of Sylacauga, passed away January the 11th, UAB in Birmingham at UAB Palliative Care. Funeral service will be Friday at 2 p.m. from the sanctuary on Highway 280 in Sylacauga. The Reverend Freddie Edwards officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation on Thursday evening at Courteous & Son North from 5 until 8 p.m. Frenchie was the owner and operator of Sylacauga Handicapped and a member of the Sanctuary Church. The family will accept flowers or donations can be made to the sanctuary. Online condolences and expressions of sympathy at courteousonfh.com. Courteous & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Ann J. Hare will be January 14th at 11 a.m. from Evergreen Cemetery. The Reverend Byron White officiating. Mrs. Hare was a longtime teacher and administrator in Talladega County Schools, with her longest tenure being at B.B. Comer High in Sylacauga. She was a member of the Sylacauga First United Methodist Church, where she held many leadership positions throughout her years of membership. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to the Hope Class at First United Methodist Church, 105 East Spring Street, Sylacauga, 35150, or a donation to a charity of your choice. Courteous & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Graveside service for Leon Cook will be Thursday at 1 p.m. from Corinth Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation is today 1 until 7 at the funeral home, and family hour 5 till 7. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. In other obituary news this morning, celebration of life and graveside service for Mrs. Nancy Carol Ritchie Norwood, age 66, is Friday at 11 a.m. from Holy Hill Church of Our Lord Cemetery in Lincoln, with Bishop Lotus McGregor officiating. Visitation is Thursday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the funeral home. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Mrs. Annie Harvey, age 76, died January the 11th at Coosa Valley Medical Center, Sunset Memorial Chapel, Childersburg, announcing. Celebration of life, remembering the life of Mrs. Susie Ann Wilson Scales, age 69 of Talladega, will be today at 1:30 from S.M. Goodson Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega, with the Reverend V.T. Welch officiating. Interment in the Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church Cemetery. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Jimmy Steve Hampton, age 74 of Sylacauga, is Friday at 2 o'clock from Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel, with Brother Roy Johnson officiating. Burial in the Marble City Cemetery. Mr. Hampton died December 8th at his residence. Visitation Friday, 11 a.m. until noon at the funeral home. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. And funeral arrangements will be announced for Mr. Taylor Powell, age 26, who died on Friday, January the 8th. Those arrangements to be announced by S.M. Goodson Funeral Home in Talladega. This obituary report this morning brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. That's Curtis & Son Funeral Home.